Hello. So today we'll be talking about why you and everyone you know should be avoiding excessive blue light exposure. And before we get into why, let's discuss what is exactly blue light. And this is not just a light that's blue that you might see in a light bulb, but it's part of our visual spectrum overall. So we have our reds, our greens, yellows, blues, violets, all in that spectrum that make up what we see. So this is also emitted by the sun. And some people might ask, well, if blue light is so harmful, then why are we able to go outside and see? Why don't our eyes just burn in our heads? And that reason is because of the proximity that the sun is from us. The light waves that are reflected down to Earth are far weaker, first of all, than it would be looking directly at the sun, which I hope nobody does, first of all. And secondly, the blue light exposure that we get from the sun, especially earlier in the day, is very important in our sleep wake cycle. So, by seeing the sun, our hormones in our system produce cortisol, which in turn clears out our adenosine receptors. And our adenosine receptors are very crucial in this fact because they are the primary way that we are able to fall asleep later at night. When more adenosine builds up throughout the day and we start to get tired near the end, it's because adenosine has built up and is a primary factor in creating melatonin in our body naturally rather than taking it as a supplement. Um, so, this is inherently a good thing, especially before 10 a.m., which is very important in this. So, going on to blue light and macular degeneration. So we talked about the proximity of ourselves and the sun. Now we need to talk about the proximity of ourselves and our working screens, like the screens that we have here on our computers that I'm recording with currently. So everyone's on our screens nowadays, and the average amount of time that an American or a civilian in the world uses is about 7 hours per day, which is an insane amount. So a couple factors to help get through eye strain and help prevent macular degeneration, especially later in life, which is the degression of your eyes, and you'll start using readers or reading lenses to read, is because of macular degeneration. Now, to get past this, there is a 20-20-20 rule. And what I mean by this is for every 20 minutes that you're working on a screen, that is about give or take 3 feet, 2, 3 feet from you, you're going to want to take a look at something that's 20 feet away for 20 seconds for every 20 minutes you work. And this will slow down the process of macular degeneration and keep your eyes stronger for longer. And this was learned from Andrew Huberman at Stanford Institute of Research, which is a very, very good school, especially to learn about these kinds of things from. He's a neurologist there. Now, we talk about blue light and the detriment to sleep. So, we talked about how blue light wakes us up during the day. Now, it also can keep us awake at night. If we're still remaining on our screens anywhere from 1 to 3 hours before we try to go to sleep, we're emitting more and more cortisol in our systems, which will keep us awake and it primarily acts as a adenosine antagonist. It really pushes away the adenosine, which does not allow us to produce the melatonin, which we want it to do. So this is why it causes wakefulness at night. The iPad I'm reading on emits blue light. Computer screens, like we talked about, the phone that I'm using to time this, they all emit blue light, and all should be avoided for the most part if you want a better night's sleep, at least, again, 1 to 3 hours before you go to sleep. Now, how can we avoid some of these side effects of blue light? So, some things I do, and some things that are very common to do to avoid this are generally avoiding the use of electronics, television, phones, watches, smartwatches, right here, anything that emits blue light. So I use a downtime or sleep mode on my iPhone, which turns off all notifications and doesn't allow me to go on Instagram, Facebook after, say, 8 p.m., which honestly, I really don't want to do in the first place because it will keep me awake, keep me invested, keep me scrolling. So that's something you or anybody could do to try to avoid this in the first place. Another thing is to use smart lights to make your environment warmer, such as, hey Google, make my lights red. And now we have red lights. Hey Google, turn lights to ivory to make our room warmer to block out that blue light. Another way is to use Another low cost way is to use just a red bulb in a lamp as a night light or a reading light at night. This will create a warm, nice, calm environment for you. And a final way, again, we need to use blue light blockers. And you can use these when you're working all throughout the day, as well as red light blockers a couple hours before bed, and completely red blockers, which block out a total of 98% of all red light. So, with this, I hope I've equipped you with some strategies to get a better night's sleep and keep your eyes healthier for longer by avoiding blue light. Thank you.